Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Oilers and the Miami Dolphins. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And this one caught by Delaney Walker. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Sets up the screen to Gordon. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory right at the 40. Now a play fake. Carr. Caught right side. Davis. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, saying, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go. Again, it's Carr. And this is incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Melvin Gordon hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Extra point up and good by Succop. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Tannehill. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Tannehill now on second down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I got 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Hey, 20.
Play action. It's Tannehill. Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan. And a loose football. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here. Trying to get it that time to Stills.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage.
Get down.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a third down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
And Suckup will put this one right through, and that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle, come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The first carry for Kenyon Drake. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Tannehill now to throw. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And it'll bring up third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. He's airing it out for Sanu. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. To the right side, complete to Taylor. The completion there winds up a and it'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kalen Ballage, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Carr. Wide open receiver complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They run it with Balaj. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Let's go. Deep. Trip left.
From the gun on third down, Tannehill. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Flushed out right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Taking it about the 36. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now out comes Houston. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
29.
On play action, it's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. Uncorks into a double team, and it's intercepted. Cordray Tankersley with a pick, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 6 there on first. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Milage. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Here's a run with Milage, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Third and goal, it's Drake. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 1-score game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that cuts the lead to 24-17. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in this spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Carr. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Carr now on first down. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The offense on third down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, they'll throw with Carr, eluding the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw it right into it for an interception.
They'll start with a give here to Blanche. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On second down, here's Tannehill. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On first down, Drake. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point put through by Succop. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. So we have come to halftime, and what's all...
No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you.
All right, let's go. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to...
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it'll be a turnover. This is going the other way. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it back. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. 3rd and 2, Tannehill. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daquan Jones. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run here with Balazs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Let's go, get set. Tiger.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. Going up top. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. And now out comes Houston. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense.
694.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. And his pass incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he coughs up the football. And it looks like the offense did get the football back, but it is clearly in that end zone, and it's going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Tannehill. Going deep here for Parker. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now Balaj. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Here's Tannehill. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he's got room to run past midfield. Touchdown, Houston. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
He goes underneath the Drake. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Miami. 41 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kalen Balaj, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll... drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Richmond.
Now it's the backup Gabbert. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I can just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
A 2nd down throw for Gabbert. And his throw is incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept...
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Frank Clark in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And he finds Stills, complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Tannehill finding Stills, and it's a Dolphin 1st down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now, defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Now on 1st down, Drake again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Tannehill, he's going to let one go deep for Parker. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be fourth down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Desperation time for Tannehill on fourth down. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Adam Gase rolls the dice. It doesn't pan out. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first down carry for Henry. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On second down, here's Henry. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Come back, come back. Tiger.
From the shotgun, it's Gabbert. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Dolphins' offense now heads back on the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Tannehill once more. Going deep here for Stills. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. They're able to locate Wilson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. On the left side, this is Stills. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Tannehill throwing again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. He was looking for Parker that time.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And some room to maneuver. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
To throw is Gabbert. They set up the screen for Henry. They find some open field here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
And they take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for our visitors, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.